Well, I've finished the corkscrew, and next I want to do the coffee scoop. And I'm going to use this piece of crabapple wood right here. Now with this kit here, you can see that I actually bought the metal bushings. I'm not going to have the fun of making the wooden ones. And I didn't mention it, but that actually worked out very well. Just have to be careful not to touch those wooden bushings with your chisel, or they're going to get smaller on you. I really hate to do this, but I'm going to have to cut away some of that wood. Get it down to the size I need it, about 1 inch by 1 inch. I gotta drill a hole down through this piece. Oh, well, I guess it's about 3 inches long. As you can see, the brass tube is a little longer than with a normal pen blank. So there's a chance that if I go crooked with my drilling, which I've sometimes done, I'm going to end up having to turn away, more than I want to. So I think 1 inch by 1 inch should be just about right. Now here's something I have to consider. You notice that the center is about, where is it? Here? So what do? Do I take 1/4 of an inch, say, off of each side all the way around so that the center stays in the center? Or do I sort of have the grain off to one side? And I got a feeling that the grain might look a little more interesting if it's a little bit off to one side. So that's what I'm going to do here. Well, we'll see what happens. Now in every project that I use my bandsaw, that is this bandsaw, somebody will comment and say, "What blade is that?" Or "Is that the Laguna Resaw King blade?" Well, yes it is. It's the Laguna Resaw King. It's a 1 1/4 inch blade. And what do I think of it? Well, I can honestly say it seems to be as sharp now as it was when I first put it on. Well, theoretically, it's got to be dulled a little bit, but I'm not noticing it. I think it's a little over a month ago that I originally trimmed up this piece of wood and cut the ends off to get down to where there were no cracks. And it's possible that the ends have dried out just a little. I know the easiest thing to do is just cut off one end, but I think if I cut a little off of each end, I'm going to eliminate any little possible cracks that may have worked their way in. And you know I'm going to say it, right? Measure twice, cut once. When I'm cutting off little pieces like this and I'm holding my fingers very close to the blade, I tend to feel a little bit more relaxed with the bandsaw. And the reason is, when I use the table saw, I'm always kind of cringing and squinting and thinking that possibly the little piece is going to come flying back at me. Possibly I could have cut it about 1/8 of an inch shorter, but I know the barrel trimmer can easily take care of that. The spindle travel of this drill press is only about 3 inches, maybe a smidgen more, and this blank is about 3 1/4 inches, so I'm going to have a couple of goes at it. Just want to make sure that the first go is about as true as I can get it. By the way, that old Stanley tape measure, it's got to be well over 80 years old now. It was my grandfather's. I get a kick out of using it every once in a while, even though I can read my other one better. Sort of a nostalgia thing, I guess. It is the next day, and I'm going to do my best here to get a hole drilled down the center of this thing. This little device works great for finding the center of something, especially something round. All I have to do now is make sure that the table on the drill press is square with the bit, and I should be good to go here. I went down as far as I could, which was about 3 inches, and the last 1/4 inch I'm going to have to do this way, but I don't need to worry about it not going straight. Well, it's not perfectly centered, but trust me, I've done a lot worse. Now that's just a rubber band wound around a nail. Now that'll work for any kind of brass tube. If the brass tube is bigger, you just simply find something bigger to wind the rubber band around. I only just recently started using this base plate wax. I got it from William Woodwright, and it's really cheap, and it sure beats messing around slicing carrots. Now, because the CA glue sets so quickly, I don't have time really to be moving the camera from one side to the other, so I'm thinking, what am I going to do here? Oh yeah, 2 cameras, sync them up. I kind of enjoy doing that anyway. And you'll be able to see me getting the CA glue stuck on my fingers a lot better. Now I know you didn't see me do it, but I very quickly got the solvent and got that CA glue off my fingers before I started messing around with the cameras. The brass tube was pretty close to the surface at this end, so I didn't have to go in very far. But the other end, it must have been in, 3/8 of an inch or more. I know that you can't see it, but I am wearing ear protection here. That vacuum system is so loud, it's drowning out the drill press. Now I realize I don't have to do this, but I'm reinforcing the end grain here with CA glue, and I'm using the CA glue regular because it's the runniest and it'll soak in the best. If the blank should fly apart on me on the lathe, I've only got 1 brass tube. Don't want to take any chances. Now I'm a little bit puzzled here, and that is because this bushing has been turned down different from this one. Like this section here, it doesn't seem to match up with anything in the coffee scoop. This piece and this piece are the same diameter as here and here. I hope I'm not going to be screwing up here. I can't see any reason why I have to use this end. Unless this set is also for another kit of some kind. That could be.